Hello, welcome to Beyond Science. Today we're going to be talking about electronic structure diagrams. At the centre of an atom is a nucleus containing protons and neutrons. Electrons orbit around the nucleus in shells. The shell which is closest to the nucleus is known as the first shell. In this atom, the first electron shell can contain up to 2 electrons. The second electron shell can contain up to 8 electrons. The third electron shell can contain up to 8 electrons. If an atom has more than 18 electrons, it will have a fourth electron shell, like calcium here. We would say that calcium has the electronic structure 2882 because calcium atoms have 2 electrons in the first shell, 8 electrons in the second shell, 8 electrons in the third shell, and then it can't fit any more in there, so the final 2 electrons have to go in the fourth shell. This diagram shows the electronic structure of a sodium atom. A sodium atom has 11 electrons. Its electronic structure is 281. Let's have a look at the first 20 elements of the periodic table. Let's see if we can spot any patterns. Firstly, you may have noticed that the number of electrons that an element has increases by 1 each time as we go from left to right across the periodic table. For example, hydrogen has 1 electron, helium has 2 electrons, lithium has 3 electrons, beryllium has 4 electrons, and so on. Another thing that you might notice is that elements in period 1 have just 1 electron shell. Elements in period 2 have 2 electron shells. And elements in period 3 have 3 electron shells. Something else you may have noticed is that the elements in the same group of the periodic table have the same number of electrons in their outer shell. The elements in group 1, for example, all have 1 electron in their outer shell. Elements in group 2 have 2 electrons in their outer shell. Elements in group 3 have 3 electrons in their outer shell. The group of elements on the furthest right-hand side of the periodic table is known as group 0 or group 8. And you can use both. Elements in this group all have a full outer shell. Being familiar with these patterns will be really useful when trying to quickly locate elements in an exam situation. This atom has 3 electron shells, so this element must be in period 3 of the periodic table. And there are 4 electrons in the outer electron shell, so this element must be in group 4 of the periodic table. This atom has a total of 14 electrons. This electronic structure is for the element silicon. Why don't you have a go at drawing the first 20 elements of the periodic table?